Good morning everyone and welcome back to today's video. In the last two videos, we have learned about the basics of the Mahabharata, and in the last video, we have seen how Pandavas went to exile. So in continuation to the last video, we start today's video. So when Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, came to know that her sons were going into exile, she wept bitterly. The Pandavas could not stand the sight and left for their exile with heavy hearts. Vidur, the learned prime minister of Hastinapur kingdom, consoled Kunti, advising her to bow to God's will. Dhritarashtra too had lost his peace of mind, as he knew well that his wicked sons would not be spared by the brave Pandavas. His guilty mind was constantly pricking his every conscience. He sent for Vidur and said to him, "Let me exactly know how Yudhishthir, along with his brothers and Draupadi, proceed to the forest." Vidur replied, "My lord, Yudhishthir, the eldest Pandava prince, is walking with his face covered with a piece of cloth and with his eyes almost shut. Bhim is walking abreast of him with his arms raised upwards. He is followed by Arjuna, who is, while walking, is raising dust with his feet. Next is Sahadev, Madri's son, who has besmeared his face with salt. Nakul, the youngest Pandava, has besmeared with salt with his entire body as well. Queen Draupadi, weeping bitterly, is following the five brothers. She is hiding her face with her disheveled hair. Last of all walks Saint Dhaumya, the royal priest of Pandavas, holding blades of grass in his hand and chanting verses in the praise of Lord Yama and Rudra. Dhritarashtra was horrified to hear this description of the Pandavas going into exile. He asked wise Vidur to explain to him the deep meaning underlying these gestures on the part of the Pandavas. Vidur retorted, "You are well aware of the fact, O king, that your sons have deprived the Pandavas of their kingdom through deceit and deception. But Dharmraj Yudhishthir has not given up the path of virtue and righteousness. He still harbors in his heart a feeling of forgiveness for your sons. So, he has still covered his face with his cloth to hide his wrath and anger. He is walking with almost shut eyes, lest the fire of his red, angry eyes should burn your sons to ashes. Bhim is walking along with his arm raised high up to express that he would display his might when he right the moment comes to his valor." Vidur continued, "Arjun is following his two elder brothers, raising dust with his feet to predict that he shall shower countless arrows at his enemies, just as many as the particles of the dust floating in the air. Sahadev, the famous swordman, has soiled his face to signify that he shall force his enemies lick dust on the battlefield. The most handsome Nakul has besmeared his whole body, lest the onlooking lady should fall in love with him. Draupadi, in her only sari, is walking with tears in her eyes and her hair unkempt to indicate that the wives of those who are responsible for her disgrace in the open court shall weep over their dead bodies just like her after 13 years of exile. Dhaumya, the royal priest, is chanting verses in praise of Lord Yama, the god of death, to indicate that Kripacharya shall be chanting similar verses when all the Kauravas meet their doom on the battlefield. With this, we come to the end of today's video. We shall meet in our next session, in our next video. Till then, stay happy everyone. Thank you everyone for listening.